Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. The playoffs are underway. Yanks go down. Cubs go up. Dodgers are balling out. And of course, the AL Central wins all around. Let's talk ball. Blake Snell.
Every player. There's so many bunts today. What the hell happened?
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented by SeatGeek. Use code JMPlayoffs, 10% off your playoff tickets, and our special playoff edition of Talkin' Baseball is presented by T-Mobile. However you guys watch the game, stats, watching on the road, mobile, the magenta status perks, wherever you are, check it out with T-Mobile. Head over to T-Mobile.com/network. I am Jake Storielli at Talkin' Jake, noted Yankees fan. We'll get to that. That is Trevor Plouffe. A fan of ball? How do you label yourself?
I mean, I'm a Twins fan, okay? But right now my guys are on vacation. We're managerless, and I'm rooting for good games, which we got today, I think, except for the last one.
Is your hat in the ring for the Twins job?
My hat?
Yeah.
Oh, like am I? No, absolutely. No, I'm not a coach.
There's a lot of rumors flying around the internet.
I'm an online coach. I'm not going to be sitting there for 180 days dealing with these scrubs. I mean, unless I get to make all the decisions.
Maybe reach out to ownership and say you're willing to be a special advisor in the hiring process.
I mean, dude, I've given my thoughts on this so much.
It's the playoffs. We can't do Twins managers.
Why are you asking me this?
I don't know. There was just a lot of rumors. That's on me. Let's get into it, Coach, because it's the juiciest day of postseason baseball. We'll see. Maybe there will be a day 3 that one day stands out of this new wild card format. If you've won game 1, you've done pretty damn good in this format. I think it's 11 out of 12 have won the first game and then won the series, most of them in 2 games. So the Tigers, the Cubs, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers are feeling pretty dang good right now, while the other 4 are not. We're going to cron pot it. Let's get into it. I did write Burns. I was a little all over the place today with the John baby being born. Shout out to Frankie the Yankee. John Boy's 3rd.
I don't like that at all.
What?
Frank's fine. Frankie's fine. Don't put that on him. What if he wants to be a Mets fan?
There's a lot of rumors he's going to become America's best cricket player ever. So
that's so true. Yeah. Baseball out, cricket in.
He's going to have options. Congrats to Jimmy, Katie, and the whole family. Let's get into some 1 p.m. AL Central dogfight baseball. It's a Tuesday, so we start out Wild Card Week in the Central, where Gavin Big Country Williams would hope to guard Cleveland's AL Central title against the Pussycats that blew it as Detroit came into town, being the first people to go excited to go scuba diving in Cleveland. Top 1, the new J-Rod gets nailed by the Carpenter. Costly error as Spencer has enough torque for an RBI single. It's 1-0 Kitty Cats. In the 4th, the shattered camera game. It's guard ball, baby. 2 infield singles after the glass delay. We're tied up at 1. Gavin Williams, 6 innings, 2 runs, 0 earned. Tarek Skubal, 7.2, 1 earned run, 14 Ks. Hey, now you're an all-star. Zach McKinsko with the bunt, small ball, baby. My old nickname. Tiger steal game 1, 2-1 final.
You want the standings? Tigers up 1-0 on the guards. There you go, Pop.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. What'd you see, Coach?
I think this game was advertised. There were some funny quotes from Hinch after the game saying, for anyone new to the Tigers Guardians series, this is what they look like every game. And it kind of is true. I mean, neither of these offenses are, going to blow anybody out of the water. And especially when you got these 2 guys on the mound, the game kind of went how we thought it was going to go. I mean, Skubal looked absolutely, I mean, absolutely filthy. And Gavin Williams, no slouch as well. Um, if we're talking about playoff baseball, we always talk about, oh, things are magnified in the postseason. Yeah, they are. And the things behind you get a little tight sometimes in the postseason. We saw that in the top of the first, man. I mean, the Carpenter like little looping line drive single, and Rodriguez boots it, gets on the second base, and Torkelson bloops him in for the 1-0 lead. And if you're the Guardians, you're like, shit, Tarek Skubal's on the mound, and we're already down. So not only is it like a early game, and at the beginning of that game, the Guardians fans were still like ushering into the stadium. So like there wasn't a huge like electric vibe to start, and then you get the 1-0 lead right away. I think it took the air out of the stadium. It took them a while to kind of like get into the game. And I think the bottom fourth is kind of like when the fans started making it feel like a playoff atmosphere. But we have the Guardians doing guard ball, good base running by Ana Martinez to score on the chopper over Skubal. But then in the end, yeah, it's just like small ball, one play here or the other decides this game, and that is gonna be how like this series goes. We saw a classic game between these two in game one. The Tigers just capitalized on more mistakes than the Guardians did, and obviously Skubal on the mound helps a ton.
Yeah, pretty wild in hindsight looking back and being like those first two runs, or excuse me, that first run, it's you get an extra base on the error with Jonathan Rodriguez batting cleanup for the Guards in this verse lefty lineup. He's only got 31 games, I think, at the big league level this year. First playoff action, so that's pretty tough when there was 2 outs in that inning, and Gavin's almost out of there, and that's the only blemish on his day. The other thing, the run they score on the run the Guardians score on the infield chopper inning, Skubal's got a chance to get him at the plate with a slightly better throw or a sharper throw. Kind of weird that throw had a little arc on it.
Well, get out of the way and let the guy coming in on the ball field that. If Baez fields that, nobody's running home. But Skubal,
Right.
Fields it like over his shoulder. And we know pitchers throwing to bases isn't great. I'm not saying he's terrible at it, but like in general, you can challenge a pitcher. And yeah, he grabbed that thing like a changeup. He was choking it. That's just how it was, man. And he'd been throwing some great changeups, by the way, during the outing. But yeah, it was like a lollipop kind of throw. We're going to show it right here. I mean, if Baez fields this ball, like nobody's going home. But I don't know if he didn't have a grip on the ball or what. Kind of seemed like that, but yeah, it was very much a soft kind of toss there. And even during live time, I saw you react to it. I reacted the same way. You could tell that Martinez got his hand in there, and that was great. I mean, you tie it up 1-1. And look, the Guardians had more chances, dude. The Tigers go up. McKinstry gets the bunt down. They go up 2-1, but then you get a freaking gift in the bottom of the ninth. A nice play by Baez to stop the ball, but bounces a ball. It hits Ramirez. All of a sudden, you got your little dude just scampering around the bases like he does. He's on third base with nobody out. It's unbelievable. And then it just doesn't happen for them, man.
Really nice play by Will Vest there. We'll go hard on pitchers when we have to because we're a couple hitters. That Will Vest, they have Jose Ramirez dead to rights, but even then he pump fakes the throw, runs at Ramirez, makes sure they get that out that takes him off of third base. After when you see a play like that happen and you're playing the Guardians, you're kind of like, oh, well, for sure we're about to blow this game somehow. And one of these guys is going to come up and have the game-changing play. So for the Tigers and Vest to get that one done, I mean, massive for them. And hey, the whole mentality coming into this, blowing the biggest divisional lead we've ever seen, 15 and a half games. Sure, you can say all the right things of, yeah, it's that all that's behind us and the season that's done. Everyone's 0-0. It really helps when you have the best pitcher in the world going that day. That helps. So huge for the Tigers, obviously, to get game one for every reason we talked about. I want to send one shot across the bow, and we can send the same shot across the bow at my Yankees in a little bit. That Guardians versus lefty lineup, I know they're not an offensive juggernaut either way, but with Quan neutralized by Scooble, who, hey, everyone's kind of neutralized by Scooble, Manzardo neutralized by Scooble, it was J-Ram, and man, Trev, I was going through the batting averages and OPSs of that Cleveland Guardian team, and it was a little shocking, and I've been following them all year.
It's not their MO, though. I don't think it's fair to compare them to the Yankees because the Yankees left how many homers on the bench? We'll get into that. The Guardians don't have that. So, like, they're doing whatever they can to try to exploit any advantage whatsoever. And they put themselves in a position to do it. Valera comes in with Ramirez on third base, nobody out in the ninth, and he just gets too big. That's where like the inexperience comes in. He gets too big and just massive swings when he just has to really put the ball in play. Jerry Ram's a great baseball, like a base runner. Just touch the grass in the outfield, man. Anything. Vest isn't a strikeout pitcher necessarily. So like you get big, you get down, and all of a sudden now it's one out. And the chopper, if we can show that play, Robbie, the chopper that Ramirez gets, I guess, sort of in a pickle. I watched it a couple times. I couldn't tell like what the right base running move was. I feel like you see the ball go up in the air like that with Ramirez. I don't think he was able to get a huge secondary lead necessarily. But you see the ball go up, you just go. I think that is the right play, but he ends up stopping. And I think once you stop, you're out. Like, make him throw home, I think is the right play. If you're going to go on contact, and maybe he's saying, who was it? Who was hitting then? That was Manzardo, right?
I believe so.
Maybe he's thinking Manzardo get to second base, get in scoring position. Maybe that's the thought process. But Vest did a good job, just not even giving the ball up. There was no throw. He tags him, doesn't allow that to happen. Quick on his feet to turn around and look to second to make sure he's not getting there. So I think just great fundamental baseball from the Tigers. And then for Ramirez, I go back and forth. I don't really know what the right play there was. I think it's just continue to go home because maybe then he can still go to second base, but you can't stay in the rundown for 3 seconds. He's not going to be able to get there. So it ended up being a terrible play, obviously, for the Guardians. Kafis comes in, he pinch hits, pops up to buy his game over. I think the Tigers did a good job, man. They took advantage of some errors. We saw, again, we got the bunts down in this game, which was really nice to see. I like the postseason bunts, but, between these two teams, it is just who's going to take advantage of what mistake, and the Tigers were better at that than the Guardians were today.
Yeah, I think you probably want to make Vest and the catcher Dingler just complete the play. I think so too, right.
Especially that like 10, 15 feet is such a weird throw. Like shovel pass is probably the best option there, but he wouldn't do that. He doesn't have that in the bag.
And just like the catcher glove sometimes does weird stuff that, yeah, I don't know. I think it was a nice play by Vest, and it's probably a moot point. And hey, credit to the Tigers for having Tarek Skubal, because he was special, and this Guardians lineup didn't have much for him. Nobody had much for each other, and that's going to lead into the next game tomorrow. They are in the same time slot. And hey, I'm nervous of going into that mode where we repeat a lot of the same things, because if you're the losing team, we talked about this beforehand, it's all hands on deck. It's potentially your last game tomorrow that Casey Mize will get the pill for Cleveland, Tanner Bybee for the Guard Dogs. And I think you're right. I think Hinch summed it up best, that these are the games these two teams play. You're not going to get the 11-8 slugfest. They don't have that.
Yeah, they don't. And again, like this was the Guardians bullpen came in, did a great job. The Tigers bullpen came in, did a great job. Like this is just a well pitched game. And maybe you expect that against these offenses with these pitchers, but I think we'll probably see more of the same tomorrow.
Yeah, we had 2 cases of 7.2 dominant performances, handing it to the closer for 1.1, which again, we'll get to Yankees, Red Sox coming up. Here's McKinsko, our guy Jimmy Norp's favorite player. And look at that, Trev. Bunts come October.
Do you remember we saw him sitting all alone at the press conferences at the All-Star game? We felt bad.
Yeah.
Now look at him, laughing at everybody.
Laughing all the way to a game 1 victory, first game of wild card weekend.
Before we move on, one quick weird thing. Scoob's afraid of Austin Hedges? Is that confirmed?
I
We saw
don't know.
a 3-1 slide ball to him with, I think it was 2 outs, nobody on, a 3-1 slider, and then a 3-2 change it to walk him. Dalton has on the sheet 36 walk batters this year, and over 8% of them are just Austin Hedges.
Sometimes
Hilarious.
it's a funny sport. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's an energy factor that if that guy gets a hit off a Scooble, all of the Guardians get superpowers. I don't know what that is. Is it Chris Rose? Probably. Yeah, that was good for Hedges. Good at bats. Good at bats by Hedgie. Okay, let's get into game 2 of the day. We head up to beautiful Wrigley Field. Welcome to the friendly confines as Matthew Oil Can Boyd and the Baby Bears would take on the Padres. When I say I need you, you say Pavetta. Full pension Piv gets the pill for San Diego. Top 2. Dr. Charles Xavier would be proud as the X-Man Bogarts with the RBI double. It's 1-0 Fathers. But in the 5th, Suzuki doesn't need to motor around after that one. 5th straight game with the Yabo. And how about back-to-back with April All-JM catcher Carson Kelly? Those are the 2 runs they got off Pavetta in his 5 innings. And how about the Cubbies bullpen? Palencia, Pomerantz, Kittredge, Keller, 4.2, no-hit ball from the pen. Horner with the insurance. Fly the W. Cubs win. 3-1 final.
Sorry, I was just watching a clip of Mason Miller telling PCA to shut the F up. I didn't know that was there. I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hot boys
standings
running hot.
here. Padres down. They're 0-1, and the Cubs are 1-0.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Coach, I guess where do you start? I think the thing that stands out the most is the Padres' vaunted bullpen. You look on the other side of the field, and this is I was guilty as anyone where the names didn't jump out to me as much, but as dominant a performance you could get out of the bullpen. And how about our guy Killa Craig Counsell going to Palencia pretty early there and getting the job done?
I don't want to call them a ragtag group of dudes in that bullpen because I don't think that's what they are. I feel like that sounds disrespectful, but
bit.
like it's kind of a ragtag group of dudes back there. I mean, we got Keller shutting the game down. He was let go by the White Sox last year.
Yeah.
Andrew Kittredge, he's a journeyman-esque player. They'll go look at his baseball reference page. Pretty damn good. But for Palencia, I thought that was great. I mean, since coming back from an injury, I believe he came back for 2 games and they were like low leverage, kind of get your feet back under you. And then here he's going to be used Andrew Miller-esque, I guess you could say, putting out fires. But this was another really, really fun game. I mean, we had like the lefty lane that we talked about come into play a couple different times for Boyd in the top of the 2nd, top of the 4th. Each time he kind of used that lefty lane to escape jams, which is really cool to see. I thought him and Pavetta both pitched well. Pavetta just got. The Suzuki homer was a mistake pitch because he'd been riding that fastball at the top of the zone and was looking really, really good with it. Suzuki gets one like belt high, middle in, and just turns on it. But then Carson Kelly, he went up and got that. he took Pavetta's best pitch and put it in the seats, man. A huge answer inning for them in the bottom of the fifth. It was awesome, and that was cool to see because again, that top of the fourth, we get the walk to Machado against Boyd or facing Boyd, and then Merrill decides to bunt him over. After the game, he said that was all on him, and you could tell like. I think there was a mentality of the Padres like, hey, let's get a couple runs and then our bullpen will come in and just shut this thing down. Like the shadows were coming into play. It really seemed like we were going to, it was going to be something like that. Whoever had the lead, past like the fourth or fifth inning was going to be it. And that's kind of what ended up happening. I mean, these guys came in and were just blowing people away. It was very difficult to see. And you could tell even before that, like the top of the fifth, you started to see the shadows come into play. But the Cubs, like they play day games there all the time. I think that plays into their advantage. Like, we know how to deal with the shadows. If you're the Padres, you don't play a lot of day games. If you do, you're not dealing with the shadows. I think that comes into play, dealing with that, because there were some rough swings, like kind of like later on in the game as guys were just throwing a little wrinkle in it, and like Tatis was taking swings there at the end of the game. I have a note on it. I was watching. I was like, damn, he seems like he's defeated. Top of the eighth against Kittredge. He gets up 2-0 and then just takes 3 straight pitches. Doesn't even take the bat off his shoulders. And it looked like he was defeated to me. Like he gave up. Like, oh, the fucking shadows, man. I can't see. You can't have that mentality. You cannot. You got to grind that shit out. It sucks. It's horrible. You're up there. You feel like you have much less of a chance, but you still got a chance.
Right.
You're up 2-0, and you take, I believe the sequence was fastball, like down the middle, take, slider, fastball again, and you're sitting down without even taking the bat off your shoulder. I thought that was interesting. But yeah, look, again, a close game. I think both bullpens did their job. I mean, they came in at their all zeros from them. Mason Miller looked great. Again, you get Drew Palm, ragtag dude, no offense. Kittredge, Keller, like this is a ragtag group that did it, man. They went toe-to-toe with the quote-unquote best bullpen in baseball and held that lead. So great first game for the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a different term than ragtag, but I mean, what
Sorry,
you're saying,
I don't. Yeah, I've been using that a lot. I don't know why.
Brad Keller, as the last 4 years before this, had negative WAR and a 5 ERA.
Yeah, he was a starter with the Royals, goes to the White Sox, that he gets DFA'd. I mean, I think that's the right word.
Drew Palm was out of baseball. I guess guys with stories.
There you go.
Man, that Laureano injury, especially when we're talking about Drew Pomeranz's inning, and his numbers against lefties are fantastic. That we could end up looking at this draw for San Diego and saying that injury was a huge one, and the way that they are constructed, that we talked about the Cubs muddying up the waters, and they did that a little bit with Palencia coming in, putting 100 on the corner and lights out, and not much anybody in baseball can do with that. That they muddied up the waters. They got the insurance run late from Horner. That, hey, it didn't feel like the Cubs' best game, but it felt like winning baseball.
That was the end of the game when that wild pitch happened. I believe it was a splitter with the Strahd. I think that was the pitch. As soon as Horner was up there and drove them in and made it 3-1, I felt like the game was over, and it kind of was, especially with the shadows, man. It just didn't seem like anyone was really gonna string together 2 or 3 hits. So yeah, good situational hitting. Matt Shaw didn't attempt the bunt his entire career. He gets up there and puts the bunt down, a perfect bunt too. So we saw. I was happy with the fundamental baseball that we saw.
Yeah, Padre fans not as happy with Merrill's bunt. And hey, I think a play that goes overlooked in this one, Dansby. Dansby had a couple nice plays that save runs. That look at the scoreboard today. We got 2-1, 3-1, 3-1 in the early games, or the first 3 games. That like those plays matter so much. And if you don't have a guy like Dansby Swanson, that can flip the whole game.
I would love to show that play. I'm glad you brought it up because that was that lefty lane inning where Drew Palm kind of used this again. I mean, this is first and third, 1 out, and Dansby goes. That's a tough play, man. I know it's not hit hard, but it kind of puts you in no man's land. You see how he has to like twist his body, kind of going the wrong direction, if you will, but a great body control play. Then the wherewithal to just throw that ball in. You don't have to like hammer that thing. If you just start the momentum going towards the plate, it stops the runner at third base. That's what he did. And then Sheets with I believe it was a fly out to center field after that. So we talked about lefties. And we talked about how, Laureano being out puts, it was Sheets, it was O'Hearn and Cronenworth all together, bunched up there. And it happened twice where Palm was able to put out a fire because this lane came up. Nice play by Dansby, but I mean, if Laureano's there, I think we're probably talking something different here. Probably different moves by Counsell, different at bats. Unfortunate for the Padres, but again, just a well played game by the Cubs.
Yeah. Yes, Dansby had another diving stop in the infield before. I mean, that's what he does. And Seiya Suzuki, you want to enter the postseason at the right time. 5 straight games with a homer.
Yeah.
6 homers in those 5 games. And Trev, it's something we dance around all year, but if you're doing an all underrated players in baseball team, Seiya Suzuki OPS plus the last 3 years, 130, 138, 130.
It's pretty good.
It's really damn good.
Pretty good. Nice swing there. Palencia records 5 outs for the first time this season.
That time of year.
Hell yeah.
They will tee it up in the same time slot tomorrow. I think Cease versus Kittredge, right? So again, I mentioned the Cubs muddying it up. They're just going to try to do the whole thing, target that lefty lane, connect the innings. And man, I'll tell you what,
do you think that's what they do? Do you think it's not just an opener and then Shota comes in?
I'm interested to see, right? Because didn't they talk about Ray doing that as well? That like they have options.
Yeah.
They have options that I'm interested in. Like that, how they exploited that lefty lane today makes me feel like, I don't know, man. When a bullpen day works, and this is a loaded statement, it's one of the most frustrating things you can play against. Like, I remember the OG days of the Rays doing it, and you're just like, who is this guy? I've got to deal with this guy for 15 pitches? Like, and he's matched up against guys he matches up well against. That if you're the Cubs and you can do that properly with the shadows, like, that's an easy way to walk out of there with a 2-0 win. I don't know if that happens. Maybe they'll let Shota go. Maybe they let Ray go. But if the Padres are going to give you that lane and you can make Tatis and Machado see 3 to 4 different pitchers on the day, that's a hell of a way to ugly it up.
I agree. I think that might be what they do is start this game off with Kittredge to get through those guys at the top of the order. And then bring in Shota and just kind of see if they can get an early lead and play the shadow game again.
Playing shadow games. Look at us.
It's the truth, bro.
I know.
And by the way, we're recording this. We said, hey, we can start because the Dodgers are crushing the Reds. 10-5 now.
Hold the phone. 10-5. We got guys.
It was 10-2 when we were like, hey, we can start this bad boy up. But the Dodgers bullpen.
I mean, what are the chances? I guess the people will get some live updates on that. Trev, anything else Cubs fathers before we jump to the night shift?
I mean, I'm trying to. I got my notes in front of me. It seems like you just watched so much baseball in one day, but I think we covered everything. I mean, PCA, my guy, not looking great right now. Like, hopefully that can turn around for the Cubs. They didn't need him today necessarily, but
what do you think that is? I mean, hey, baseball's a really tough sport, and he's had an amazing season. The on base isn't necessarily his thing. Do you think it's pitch recognition? Do you think it's become mental a little bit? He's swinging at some balls that aren't.
He's the whole entire year he had swing and miss stuff, but he was
Right.
slugging to kind of back it up or to make everyone gloss over that fact. Well, the slug is gone, and people, when you start to have a book out on you, now they're just going to throw balls.
Yeah.
And if you chase, you chase. That's just the bottom line. You have to really try to get things in the zone. If you're taking swings like that, why would they throw you a strike?
Right.
He's not making guys throw him strikes. So big league pitchers see that right away, and they'll say, well, let's just continue to go there. And look, yeah, do we want to walk this guy? No, but if he's going to keep swinging, we're going to keep throwing it there.
And man, we're obviously excited for all these games, but when we talk about the Padres being all hands on deck, there's a lot of impressive hands that, go. I guess this is my best example if someone's new to playoff baseball. Like the Mets on the last day of the season, I think Edwin Diaz came in the 6th because it was like, hey, this is our last hurrah.
Oh, yeah.
And Cease hasn't really been Dylan Cease this year. That will be a very quick hook, and see how they can connect it together.
Everyone, Michael King's going to be out there. Yu Darvish is going to be out there. It's going to be everything.
And Cubs bullpen, Cubby fans have properly.
Don't say ragtag. Don't say it.
Yeah, it's hodgepodge.
That's worse than ragtag.
You think so?
I don't know. They're both.
I don't know. No, it's good though. American Crew. Today's episode is sponsored by American Crew. Let's talk about something that should never strike out: your hair. I need to get in touch with our American Crew people because I had a tough morning today. I didn't use my American Crew. I figured it out. I tried to go in raw today. Did not work. Sorry to myself. Sorry to the Yankees. The American Crew styling pucks have you make the most of what you have. Fiber will give the fullness to your hair. Need that. If you're an athlete, okay. A guy that sweats a lot, yep. Reach for the matte clay for stronger hold and absorption. Trusted by barbers and easy to use. They've got forming cream. Whatever you're looking for. All hair is different. We come from different parts of the world. Let's talk about that. So, whatever you're looking for, grab a styling puck, shop American Crew at your nearest Target, and walk off looking like a legend.
Was this ad read was just for you? Smelly athlete.
This might have been targeted. This might not actually be an ad on the show. This might have been like the company forced this through Rob just to target me.
Like this guy needs some help.
Someone give him the message.
I got a haircut today.
Okay, coach. While we're, putting me down, why don't we do some Yankees Red Sox then?
Okay.
The Yankees would hope to be freed from the wild card round with Maximus trying to out-gladiator the Red Sox and their ace Garrett as he tries to crochet a tight-knit W. Bottom 2, the next captain, October Volpe. It's 1-0 Yanks as he takes a seat on the porch. Max Fried was special, 6.1, 0 earned runs, 6 Ks. Crochet was special, 7.2, 1 earned run, 11 Ks. But Luke Dreamweaver was unfortunately a nightmare. Walk, back-to-back hits, cough up the lead. Oh, there's Alex Bregman. There's Aroldis Chapman. Yankees lose. 3-1 final.
Standings, Red Sox 1-0, Yankees 0-1. It's a tough one for you, Coach, but look, let me just throw this out there. What did you expect? Garrett Crochet.
Yeah.
Filthy. An absolute dog. And you know what? You guys had your own dog, but you put your dog to sleep. Why?
Oh, jeez.
I meant like actual like bed, not to like
God.
the fucking needle go real night.
Jeez.
I don't know where to start with this one. At all because I think there's so many interesting things. I mean, look, the Yankees, they come out swinging. You get Goldie, you get Judge, 100 miles an hour, barrels it up first pitch. Heck yeah, dude. And then they just can't get anything done. and then Crochet like really starts to settle in. Volpe pumps him bottom second. Great swing right there. I don't want to call it a lucky swing. I'm going to call it a great swing.
Great
I
swing.
believe it was a 2-strike swing too,
Yeah,
right? Up and away, fastball up and away. Great. I had to feel so good for Volpe because not only that, he gets the ball hit to him, the first play of the game? It makes an out. So he's like, okay, calm down. Then I hit a homer. Oh my God, I'm him. That's what Volpe's thinking. I'm back.
Fouled off a nice pitch before the home run too,
That's
like you said, with 2 straight. And
Can he just do that? Can he bottle that thing up?
It's part of the reason Yankee fans get frustrated because every time he plays well, he has a compact swing where he drives the ball the other way, and every time he doesn't, he tries to pull off and hit 430 homers.
I do that at Yankee Stadium.
I know. I guess, Trev, I'll reverse engineer this because we already did Talkin Yanks, and we do it raw right after because you get the nasty feelings about that lineup stunk and these guys, what are we doing, and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully in 2 days we can be saying we got crocheted. I mean, that dude, look what him and Scooble did today. And I think him, Scooble, Skeens, they are the top 3 pitchers in baseball, almost without a debate. I mean, you could debate anything in sports, but I think if there's 3 guys you don't want to see on the mound, Scooble, Skeens, Crochet, and the lefty aspect. Who else you got?
Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah.
Tall, fucking dog lefties.
And another lefty, dude, that like the Yankees, they tried to play a game. Ahmed Rosario is 6 for 9 against Crochet this year. So getting him in the lineup makes sense. You're juggling a lot. Max Fried is really good. He doesn't have the strikeout number, so you're juggling the Yankees' defense behind him. But the Yankees brought in all their righties, and they couldn't do anything to get against Garrett Crochet because nobody can. So that's frustrating that at the end of the game, when they kind of got Chapman on the ropes, they set out a whole strategy of we can't give him a lefty lane, that they ended up giving Aroldis Chapman a lefty lane to end the game. So that's some of that Yankees. It feels like this is a game the Yankees lose, and it feels like this is a game the Red Sox win.
Dude, you guys are the number 1 offense in baseball, and you tried to reinvent the fucking wheel, dude. That's what happened. Did they do this every time they faced a lefty this year? No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't. So you're going to do that. You're not even the number 2 offense.
Right.
You're the number 1 offense in the league, and you change up your strategy in the playoffs out of nowhere. This isn't something you've been doing all season. If it was, then I have no qualms with it whatsoever. But as they referenced many times on the broadcast, you're leaving 60 homers on the bench when we know runs stringing together 3 hits ain't gonna do it. Like you need to get lucky and pop a few out of the stadium against Crochet. That's it. And you're right. To do all of that just to leave the lefty lane and Jazz and Grisham to end the game is crazy to me. So I didn't love the lineup. I didn't. Like if you want to sneak Ahmed Rosario in there, great. Other than that, play your fucking dudes.
Well, and that's the Red Sox. Well, everyone's a bad matchup for Garrett Crochet.
Sure.
And then the other part of this is Max Fried. Part of the reason he's closed really well, having Ryan McMahon behind him has been huge. And it's a massive, weird left field at Yankee Stadium that not having Cody Bellinger out there would be a mistake. That there was some debate. Do you put Rosario in left? Because he's played out there a little bit. But you're also protecting your ace, who all of that came to fruition today. Fried was awesome. He got slightly hurt by a couple missed strike threes that maybe that would have allowed him to go a couple more hitters. Or, again, one of those weird Yankee things that you need to do a scope on. Max Fried looked fatigued the inning before that they were going to bring him back for Duran, and that was it because he had his number. But it is interesting when you look back at the box score and it's like Fried goes 102, Crochet goes 117. That, Alex Cora is built on that player empowerment, and you're my guy. And if you want it, you're going to have it. That being said, if Luke Weaver comes in and he's the guy who he's been all year, we don't have a lot of these conversations. Instead, he's 0-2 to Rafaela, ends up walking him, and then he gives up back-to-back hits to Red Sox lefties, where Cora's now pressing another button with Yoshida. So, yeah, man, if people come here for the Yankees' frustration in the voice, when you name a lot of the stuff that happens, an extra base on Judge because he still has the elbow thing going on. And he got caught flat-footed. Like, I know his arm's not built up, but he played that way too laissez-faire. The sack fly on Trent, that's not ideal. Again, Sogard was flying around. Maybe he's got extra postseason speed. But when you go around and you look at every little single thing, you're like, is this the Yankees of the past couple years? Like, okay, couple extra bases allowed. The insurance run in the ninth, they steal on Austin Wells. Like, how different would that ninth inning have felt? Bases loaded if they only needed one run. They probably pinch run for Goldschmidt because he's the lead runner. So maybe that jazz fly out is a sack fly. Like, there's on the margins, like what the Houston Astros made famous is their strategy. It feels like the Yankees have missed on the margins and the Red Sox have done pretty damn well. And all of that's to be said, in the first inning, in the ninth inning, Judge and Goldschmidt get back-to-back hits to start the inning, and they don't score. And Stanton comes up in a couple big spots that with one big swing, I could be telling you about the Yankees' heroic 4-3 comeback, and this team is different. Or not.
Yeah. Giancarlo did have some chances. The big double play in the first inning, strikeout there. I think we got to talk more about the Red Sox and what they did. You talk about Sogard and the base running. You mentioned taking second base, getting into scoring position for Story, even though Story ends up striking out, gets into second base there. A flat-footed Trent Grisham. That is a bad, bad look. I'm sorry, dude. It's a bad, bad look. I don't care that he didn't score. You can't let, as a center fielder, and that ball was not to the wall. That ball was 10, 15 feet in front of the warning track, and you got a guy right in front of you taking second base. That's not acceptable. The Judge play, he can't be taking that ball. I need to see a replay if Grish was even close to the ball. I think he was like decently close, but like, I don't know what you got to do. Maybe you just say, fuck it, they're going to take an extra base. We got to have Judge out there in the outfield. But that's a huge play. It's
a game-winning run. It's the run that gave them the lead.
That ball, I'm sorry. And come up fire. I was watching. I made a point to remember this. Good job by me. 8-0. The Dodgers were ahead at one point in the game, and Kike Hernandez cuts a ball off like a bat out of hell, keeping whoever the heck hit. I think it was Key Brian Hayes or Austin Hayes, maybe it was, or I don't know who the heck it was. Somebody hit it. Keeps him off second base in an 8-0 game.
Yeah.
That is the difference. That's why the Dodgers were out there talking shit after last year's World Series. Like, we're playing the game the right way, and the Yankees did not do that today.
Yeah.
Shout out Yoshida. I said I was going to talk more about the Red Sox, and I didn't. Yoshida coming off the bench, first pitch hacking. He got hot during September, was feeling good. So all of a sudden you got that extra button to press for Cora. That's really nice. Story of the game, Crochet being an absolute dog. And then I think Cora outmanaged today. I think he did.
Yeah, and the Yankees they traded for those right-handed tools at the deadline, and they thought this would be their chance to execute. And that's, it was a tricky conversation in talking Yanks before the game because you're trying to protect Max Fried while trying to put out the best lineup. But there was something that smelt funny to being like, all right, we're gonna blitz Garrett Crochet with our righties, but the righties we're blitzing with are Ahmed Rosario and Jose Caballero. Like, I don't know if that's going to affect the big fella so much. And it didn't. And now, because they lost, we do get to second guess everything. And like I said at the start, as we're trying to find the optimism, you can look back and say you got crocheted. Like, any team, whoever wins the damn thing this year can look back and say if they got Crochet and Chapman, on their best day, 7.2 to 1.1, you can lose that game and get dominated. If you can bounce back from that and get your lefties in the lineup.
I will say this. Then we'll move on to the Dodgers game. Dodgers-Reds game, excuse me. I think Cora looks at tonight and says, I'm not using Chapman for 2 innings again. I don't think it happens. I think tonight was a special case. He saw all the lefties in the lineup, wanted to keep the right-handers on the bench, and Crochet told him, hey, it's just gonna be one pass off me to Chapman. I don't think he does it again because you saw Chapman come out in the 9th, got those 3 singles in a row. He was still like 95.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have like the up down ability right there. As he settled in, he started and got Stanton. He was back up to 100. So I think that has to enter Cora's mind as he goes forward in the playoffs. I wouldn't use him for multiple innings again.
Yeah, I mean, the game 2, like every game, becomes a race for who can get a lead, and especially with the way we use bullpens now, for any of the losers from today, if you can get up early, the opposing team will not use their best pitchers because they will want to bottle them for game 3. Cora's interesting because if a win is out there, he will go and get it. So if the Red Sox are up or maybe even tied, Chapman will be back in play. But yeah, that's going to be the game of chicken tomorrow. Carlos Rodon will get the pill. He put up a really great season, like very similar to San Francisco Giant Carlos Rodon. The Red Sox will have their versus lefty lineup in, obviously. And for the Yankees, they're going to have Ben Rice in, who was awesome for them. Probably their best right versus left at bats at the end of the season. Jazz Chisholm went 30-30, coach.
Quick on the Jazz Chisholm, back to the media. Quick
what?
Thoughts?
I don't know, man. I don't think he liked losing. I don't think he liked not starting.
That's a crazy visual. It's a crazy
visual. There's a lot of things looking real bad for the Yankees right now. Okay.
I'm on that side too. Like, yeah, he's fucking pissed. He wanted to start. I just went 30-30 and I can't even get a start in a playoff game. That's insane. But also, like, you gotta just face it, man. And if you really want to, like, if you're upset, like, the way to get your point across is to, like, just say, yeah, like, I thought I should have been in there today.
Yeah. And hey, if you're really getting into baseball or getting lost in baseball, we did talk in Yanks, and again, it was very passionate. And putting all the righties in the lineup, it didn't give them a chance to pinch it for any of the lefties later in the game. And there's a weird dance around that. They also put Ryan Yarborough and Paul Blackburn on the roster that it's a little redundant in a 3-game set, where they have Austin Slater, who they traded for, who's a career lefty masher, but he's had a tough go with the Yankees. So, hey, I'll just say that's one of those points where always a talking baseball reminder. You guys know your team better than us. But yeah, it's got you questioning everything. But if they knock around Bayo tomorrow and they go to game 3, that was supposed to be Lucas Giolito, I don't know. The Yanks could have hope and say they got crocheted, but in the most recent chapters of this, it's like Cora pulls a rabbit out of his butt and the Yanks are down 4-1 in the 8th. So today's episode is sponsored by Hims. Confidence shouldn't be complicated. Through Hims, you can skip the guesswork and get access to care that actually fits your lifestyle. Straightforward, stress-free, and designed around you. Through Hims, you can access personalized prescription treatment options for ED like Hard Mints, the Sex RX Plus Climax Control. If prescribed, they offer access to treatment options ranging from trusted generics that cost 95% less than the brand names to Hard Mints. It's all with Hims. There isn't a one-size-fits-all waiting room for you. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for ED, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/talkin. That's hims.com/talkin for your free online visit. hims.com/talkin. Actual price will depend on products and subscription plan. Featured products included compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Last game.
Let's go, baby.
Ooh, that Snell. Can you smell that Snell as Blake tries to begin the Dodgers title defense against the upstart Cincinnati Reds, who might rename themselves the Greens if Hunter could lead them to a Game 1 dub. Sadly for Cincy, it was showtime in LA. Ohtani with 2 ding-dongs. Teoscar gets grouchy with a pair of his own. Can't shake Blake. Snell goes 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Dodgers end up pumping the Reds, although a little fight at the end. 10-5 final.
1-0 Dodgers, 0-1 for the Cincinnati Reds.
Thank you. I will be honest with our Cincinnati and LA brethren, as this game was starting. The Yanks Red Sox were still going, and then we recorded Talkin' Yanks right after. So I am going to be leaning on you for this one, Coach.
There's not a ton to get into. I mean, this was kind of, it felt Big Brother-ish. It felt like kind of 2 different teams that you throw Hunter Green out there, and that is your chance. Have him go and absolutely shove against the Dodgers. And he just, I mean, from the get-go, I mean, Shohei, 100.4 coming in, 117.7 going out. Like, he absolutely demolishes that ball. And from that point on, it just felt like it's inevitable that this was going to happen the way this game went. I mean, at one point it was 10-2. They ended up scoring 3 runs in the 8th to make it 10-5. The score was more lopsided than that 100%, or at least the game felt that way. We got a big Teoscar and Edman homers there to kind of put the game away. That was in the 3rd inning. They're up 5-0, and Blake Snell is carving dudes up. I'm talking just dotting stuff, mixing his pitches. It was just all Dodgers, man. It truly was. And Ben Rortvedt, your guy, just getting knocks. Like, everyone contributing. I mentioned already that Kike Hernandez, he gets a knock in his first at bat because he's a postseason hero. 87 games, I think I heard them say, for Kike Hernandez in the postseason already. Like, that's insane. I don't know, man. This one, it feels lopsided.
Because it was. And it's on both sides of the ball, and roster-wise, it makes sense. And who knows what we'll be saying this time tomorrow, and maybe the Reds will get a special performance, and it's baseball and all that. Blake Snell took the mound. His last 3 starts coming into this game, 19 innings, 28 strikeouts, a 0.47 ERA. Blake Snell's a guy they paid a lot of money to pitch. Blake Snell's a guy that's won 2 Cy Youngs. Blake Snell's a guy that peaks every time later in the season. He was ready to go. And Trev, those Dodger swings, I mean, those guys are just really good. I don't know if they had any tips or tells or anything. I leave that to you or John Boy. But from what I saw, I watched 7 tight playoff teams today that could be playing in their last games. And then the Dodgers looked like they were having home run derby after the game for the fans.
They're peaking at the right time. They truly are. And we said that from the get-go. They don't care about the regular season. I kind of hate that we felt that way. And I don't think they truly do feel that way. And they did deal with a bunch of injuries, but if you look back at the season, that's kind of how it's gone. Like, they were just okay. They were just hanging around. They're always at the top of the division. I think they gave it up for like a day, and then they played the Padres and they took it right back. And it's been not a cakewalk. They've just been, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of coasting.
Yeah.
And the bright lights come on, and fuck, man. I mean, Teo with 2 homers, Shohei with 2 homers. You're not surviving that game if you're the Reds. You don't have the offense to do it. There was a clip that we put out, and it was like, it made me sound really stupid. So thanks, social media team. It was like, the game is going to get decided by who scores more runs. I'm like, okay, I did say that. But like, what I meant was, I think they might be equal as far as pitching. But the offense for the Dodgers is so much better. So like, that's kind of where I was coming from. And that's what this game was. And, like Hunter Green obviously didn't have his best stuff, I guess, today. Although there was the bottom of the second, he has an open base. Ohtani, after clipping him his first at bat, gets up there. They decided to pitch to him, and Hunter Green blows him away. Has him taking a couple 100-mile-an-hour fastballs to strike him out. I thought that was very ballsy of Hunter Green to pitch to Shohei after that, but he got it done. But then ultimately, just the Dodgers they're too good. I think they're too good for this series. I hate saying that because I want the Reds to have a chance here. It just doesn't seem like they do.
Yeah, and hey man, we're talking about a team that we said coasted to the NL West title that has a lot of good teams with high payrolls in that division. And we're talking about the Reds who they backed into this a little bit. Like, you just got to be honest that again, that means nothing tomorrow. Although Yoshinobu Yamamoto is waiting for you. And of all these Cincinnati pitchers we're fascinated with, Zach Littell may get the start, which, again, Zach Littell's actually had a nice career, but, Lodolo's been sexy with the strikeouts, all their young arms. Andrew Abbott's here. And last time I'll say it, everyone's going to be spikes on that. Cincinnati's going to throw their worst at them. And, hey, man, maybe those runs they got late, the old baseball, hey, let's build on that. We found something later in the game. That, hey, if they can somehow scrap out a win tomorrow, which any team on any day can, making those Dodgers go to Game 3 with that bullpen, Tito, I'd watch.
It'd have to be, we'd be saying, oh, that's baseball. Something crazy would have to happen. It just seemed like they were overmatched today. And they were overmatched during the regular season, too. They lost 5 of 6. They come out, they get their butt kicked today. And if you're going Yamamoto, who's probably going to finish, I don't know, top 5 in the Cy Young voting this year. And again, I agree. Zach Littell, good pitcher, but this lineup it's too good right now. Then you add in Kike and like what he does in the postseason, and Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman hits homers in the postseason. That's what he does. What the freak is going on, man?
What is that?
On a bad ankle. I just think this Dodgers team is too much for this round for the Reds.
It's fair. How many?
Shout out Scott Barlow though. My brother coached him, and he played.
Scott Barlow.
He did great tonight.
How many Game 3s are we getting, Coach?
I could see Cleveland, Detroit going Game 3. That seems like probably going to happen. That might be the only one, Coach. If that's like the numbers would support that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested to find out the fight my Yankees have, as I think the rest of the people are.
Hey, I'll tell you this much: your Yankees talking about, could they do this again? Judge 2 hits. He also had that ball like right at him over his head. If he misses that ball, I couldn't imagine Yankees Twitter. Couldn't imagine it. I was so happy when he caught that ball. The first thing I thought it was like, thank you for catching that ball.
God, what has the internet done to us? Yeah, I don't know. This wild card round, it hasn't offered a lot of Game 3s. It's been the Mets both times, Alonso off Devin, and the Joe Musgrove ear game, as it's remembered. You'd like to think the Padres or the Yankees could put a day together to add their 163 games into one more option. And then, yeah, I'm kind of with you on Cleveland that the series kind of has to go 3, and it'll be 1-1 in the 8th of the 3rd game, and someone will hit a homer.
Yeah, I mean, that it seems likely. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I would like some Game 3s. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Like, truly win or go home type game for both teams is fun. Like, that's what baseball's made for. We'll see how it goes, man.
I'm waiting for the year. Imagine if all 4, like, opening day, the Game 1s are really fun. Game 2, you might be attending a funeral, so it's not as exciting. that day 3 when you know you're attending a funeral.
Yeah.
That I'm wondering if baseball ever gets it, or if this playoff format is just kind of broken.
Is it true that people are super aged up at funerals?
That's a good question.
That's a Wedding Crashers thing. Will
Right.
Ferrell?
It's I think there's some truth to it.
I don't think so. I mean, I've been to some funerals. I never once was like, I'm all aged up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like a confusing, lonely time.
Okay.
That I don't know. I don't know. I guess I've never deep thought about it.
Start thinking about that a little bit. Comment down below if you really believe that or not.
Because Wedding Crashers, that movie, you would say that there's some merit to the concept, right?
Oh, weddings. Everyone's aged up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just going pure joke, like, how could you do funerals? Because that's Owen Wilson when he first turns his head, he goes, a funeral. But I don't know. It's a confusing time. There's a lot of feelings.
Okay.
Coach Trev, Rob Scirocco, best in the biz. We're gonna do it again tomorrow night. And then if we get game 3s, I think we're going Friday morning either way.
Yeah.
For our physical health. So we thank you guys.
Jake sucks.
Yanks Red Sox live stream tomorrow.
If the Yankees lose tomorrow and it's your funeral, I will tell Olivia that we have to partake. Just because.
Olivia, it's not for me.
Jake's dead.
It's not for me. Oh, Big Joe's.